Okay, reflections. So a reflection makes the figure flip across a line to make a mirror image of itself. Figures can also be reflected in the x-axis and y-axis. If you reflect across the x-axis, the y-coordinates become opposite. If you reflect across the y-axis, the x-coordinates become opposite. So you can see here, we've got 3 examples of reflections. The first one's a reflection about the x-axis, the second is a reflection about the y-axis, and the third is a reflection about the x-axis. So our examples. Our first one here, we want to copy the shape into the Cartesian plane and then reflect it about the x-axis. So my first corner here is at -1, 2. My second one is at -5, -2. And my third is at -1, -6. And then join those to create the original shape. Okay, and then I'm going to reflect about the x-axis. So what we have to do a reflection, I'm just going to change colors. So to do a reflection about the x-axis, my line of reflection is the x-axis here. So that is the point that I'm reflecting about. So if I go for point B, what I need to do is I count how many units does it take me to get to that line of reflection. So here it takes me 1, 2. And what you have to do is you need to do the exact same out the other side. So we go 1, 2, and then that will be point B dash. So same thing for A. How many units does it take to get to the line of reflection? 1, 2. We go the same distance out the other side. So 1, 2. And that there will be labelled as A dash. And then our last one is C. So how many units does it take to get to the line of reflection? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need to go 6 out the other side as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we label that C dash. Once you've done that, you then need to reconnect your shape. So here in the red, I'm going to connect my dots. And so then the red shape is a reflection of our original shape. So you can see A has been reflected down and B and C have been reflected up. Our second example, we're starting with the same first triangle. So A is at -1, 2, B is at -5, -2, and C is at -1, -6. But this time what we're going to do is we're going to reflect it about the y-axis. So we connect our points. Now, our line of reflection, because we're now reflecting about the y-axis, is this line here. So our line of reflection is now the y-axis. So we count how many steps does A have to take to get to the axis of reflection? 1. So it takes 1 out the other side, and that's A dash. C takes 1, so 1 out the other side is C dash, and B takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we go 5 out the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that will be B dash. We then get our ruler. And we connect those points that we've just found. And that is our reflected shape across the y-axis. Our third example is a quadrilateral, so we're going to copy the shape and reflect about the x-axis. So we've got point D at 3, 1, G is at 1, -1, E is at 5, 3, and F is at 7, -1. We connect those points to make the quadrilateral. Now I'm then going to identify where my line of reflection is. So we're reflecting about the x-axis. So my line of reflection will be here. G takes 1 unit to get there, so we need to go 1 out the other side and label that G dash. F takes 1 unit, so it goes 1 unit out the other side, and I label that F dash. E takes 1, 2, 3 units, so I go 3 out the other side, 1, 2, 3, and that's E dash. And then D dash takes 1, 2, 3, so we go 3 out the other side, 1, 2, 3, and that's D dash. We then connect those points with our ruler. And that's created a reflection of our original shape in the x-axis.